Hi guys, it's MicheleMarieDalene, and today of course is I think it's, gotta make sure I get the dates right because I got it mixed up. I think today is the 7th of April. Or was it the 8th? 5th was Monday, right? Tuesday 6th, 7th was Wednesday, 8th is, I think it's the 9th. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so we'll say the 9th of April, and if we're wrong, I apologize. Can't be. Why? Because they said that some of the stuff I ordered will be here on the 11th, and the 11th will be a Sunday. Okay, so let's just say 7th. Because that would make sense, because right, 8, 9, 10, 11 would be Monday. Right. Okay, so let's go by that. Okay, if it's the 7th, it's the 7th. If it's the 8th, it's the 8th. But today is still another day of the week. And that's a fact. Today, of course, I'm going to be going to Primetime House. And by the time this video gets out to you guys, I will have already been the Primetime House, more than likely. Unless we edit it down ahead of time, I managed to get up before I leave for Primetime House. I haven't been to Primetime in a few years, and so things are obviously have changed. New programs were created since I left. New staff, new events, new people. I don't know what to expect because when I was there last time, they were really pushing heavily a lot of the transitional employment and supported employment options, and I won't feel ready for going through an SE or TE right now. Right. So by the way, how do you think your right eye's done? I still got a little bit of cataract in my left, but not as bad. No. I'm feeling picking Michelle. She's always just constantly checking her eyes. Yes, I do. Okay. Do you really want to start over? No. I didn't think so. But we got some projects we're working on coming up this week. So let me just give you an explanation. We did get the Category 5 patch panel. Okay, the tool port I wanted. I bought that. That came, and I got another box of Kinsey I dropped that game. Yay! And of course the only thing we're waiting now for is the RG45 connectors. I bought these with my checking account. I didn't use my PayPal credit or my credit card for this. And there's a reason behind that, which is this. I really kind of want to start working on the principles on those cards and try to resolve them. Because I spent a lot of money over the years buying odds and ends and little things on the card. And you'd be surprised how fast those little things can add up to big things very quickly. And I know that this table is a little bit far away from you. Yes, it is. Okay. Bring this forward. You might hear some noise, guys. That's about as close as I go. Hey. By the way, how do we keep the microphone from making a racket? I didn't show you that. But basically, we have a foam pad underneath the microphone which absorbs any kind of vibrations and keeps it to a minimum, which is how it works. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and I helped Ed take care of some personal issues in his life. It was very, very stressful. I got that issues that we needed to secure him so at least he has a place to stay. And I'm very glad that he's, I was told by Dory that he has a place to go right now. He's settled in. So I'm going to happily hear that. And Dory will be here tomorrow on Friday. That's It's not today. That's today, right? Okay, so she'll be here today. She'll be here today, and then she will be going to Boston or Massachusetts on Sunday for a while. So we and Dory will be spending like 2 days here and stuff like that. Ed brought some interesting accoutrements from his room over in his daughter's house that I thought was absolutely fascinating. I have never seen one of those ATSC decoder boxes for older TVs with an HDMI output. That totally surprised me. I looked at that and I was like, how in the name did they make this? HDMI output on an ATSC decoder box. Yes. That is kind of interesting, you think about it. Yes, it is. So basically what it's got is it's got a little decoder box that receives TV signals and everything. It's an ATSC signal. It sends HDMI, and high definition signals can go to an HDMI monitor, which he brought a small HDMI TV here too, because you need to store it here, so that's here too. And I happened to take a look at the thing, and it looks like I can mount it on the same stand as my Dell. Why would you want to do that? Because you can. Right. Of course, his screen is... It's a standard 16:9, whereas my Dell is a 4:3. Your Dell is taller. And it works pretty good as it is with the Raspberry Pi. Don't fuck it up. Okay. Now for the eyes. Okay, guys, listen carefully. I don't know what it is with my right eye, because some days it does great, and some days it does shit. Right now, it's kind of in the in-between category. It's doing okay. Well, as I said, if I cover my eyes, the hood over for the reels, I still see some double vision with the reels. It seems like it's a lot less serious, but it's not perfect. Now, occasionally my left eye, I sometimes see a cataract float by, and then it disappears. So it seems to me that my eyes are not consistent. But then again, for the last few months, because of budgets, I've had to cut back on my cancer eye drops so much to make a box last 2 months. And I think that, of course, had a negative impact on my eyesight. So now I've got to basically try to get myself back on the regular recommended daily usage. Even if it means I'm going to have to go through run out of cancer eye drops. But it's mostly the right eye that really needs them. It's not the left as much. The left does need eye drops, but not as much, because the damage to the left eye is much less significant. Right. Okay. So that takes care of that. Now, as I mentioned also, we're going to be doing some things with the patch down panel. Let me explain this. I want to organize the wiring in the wiring closet a little bit better. Over the years, we originally had crimped on RJ45 connectors onto the ends of the wires that go right into the wiring closet. Unfortunately, they have been known to the clips break off. Then I have to keep cutting the plugs off. Then I have to keep putting new ends on. And the wires are getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. I don't want to keep having to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to mount all the connectors into a patch panel. That way, one, I'm going to be able to plug in things nice and neatly and be all set to go. Right. You never did show anyone some of the other stuff that you bought for the Raspberry Pi yet. What? The power supply. The 8 amp, 5 volt DC, commercial grade power supply. Yes. You really want to see it? You got time? This morning, it's before everybody opens for the day, so if you can find it, sure, why don't you show it to them? Alright, I'll do that. And we can talk about some things that you need to consider for safety factor of using it with any kind of application like a Raspberry Pi. Right. Okay. This is what we bought, this brand new from the factory. And the cords are not included. You have to bring those yourself. And it is wired using your standard connection terminals here. For your earth, which is the greenish wire here, your live, which is the brown, and your neutral, which is the blue. And this is wire to a US mains plug. And also we have, because this produces 8 amps at 5 volts DC, you want some serious wire for it. And so I'm using 18 gauge wire that's connected, and this plugs into my USB hub. And it works. But there are things I want to point out about this, because at 8 amps going through this connector here, it would be very easy to burn the hell out of a trace on most small USB hubs. You really need to consider using a situation such as a overcurrent protection device, like a fuse, to protect the sensitive circuits, because this is carrying 8 amps. So this is 14 gauge wire. This can really carry and 18 gauge. 18 gauge. So this can carry about 8 amps. No sweat. No sweat. That's not a problem. But the problem is at 8 amps, this thing can seriously ruin motherboards if there's a short or blow up or something like that. And yes, another problem with this, why not using it right this second, is this thing here produces interference. This produces because this is a high voltage mode switching power supply. This produces a lot of high frequency noise. It does have the necessary protection circuits on it. I believe I'm gonna have to look inside it here, but it's got a warranty on it, so I don't want to tear it apart. Let's see if I can see if it has a kind of isolation it has on it here. And so it's kind of hard to see, but it definitely looks like it's got, yeah, it looks like it's pretty good. Yeah, it works. And I checked the voltage output, and I checked for ripple using my voltmeter, and it looks like it's within tolerance. The only thing I'm running into it is the fact is that it develops herringbones on my VGA monitor, so which means the frequency is just high enough that the VGA monitor picks it up as interference. Now, like I explained once before, I'm looking for a power supply that is electrically quiet, okay? Which means the best power supply for my application would be a linear power supply. A linear power supply would be the best because it would actually keep the noise to a minimum. I could also install a toroidal choke right here to kind of clamp onto the cord, and that would also help to cut back the noise. Usually when you get your power supplies, you would have 2 of those toroidal chokes, one on each end here, like one here on this end at the mains connection and one here at the power point connection. The only problem is I also want to talk about safety concern about this because of children or pets. This is never designed for being in an area where you might have children or pets potentially exposed to mains. You got your mains voltage right here coming in through these points on the bottom here. Okay, it got a little plastic cover that snaps down. It provides some protection from electrocution, but it can still kill you. You gotta be careful with that. So if you're gonna be using something like this, it'll be best to mount this in a enclosure that will not make it easier for children and pets to be exposed to mains voltage. And also, definitely, if you can, install a fuse holder in this cord. I know this thing has the overcurrent device built into the circuit, but, you know, for some things, you don't really need to send a whole hunk of 8 amps of power right into it. This is way more powerful than most Raspberry Pi people are ever going to use. But if you're going to be doing Christmas lights, which was one of the things I wanted to do with my Raspberry Pi, yeah, you could easily have power supplies like this for 12 volt and 5 volt and even 24 48 volts applications. I bought that specifically so it'd be ready if I ever get a Raspberry Pi 3, which Newark Electronics has in stock at $35 US. Okay, but you already got a Raspberry Pi 2. And you got a Raspberry 2, right? And I'm gonna wait on the Raspberry Pi 3 for a bit. For a couple reasons. The first is because the Raspberry Pi 3 is the first of the Raspberry Pis to be 64-bit capable. Sadly enough, the Raspberry Pi 3 is also doesn't have a 64-bit copy of Raspbian yet. Okay, so maybe if I wait a little longer, say for maybe a few months to a year from now, the Raspberry Pi 3 may have a release of Raspbian to handle 64-bit, which would be a great choice. Second thing is the Raspberry Pi 3 is so new. I want to make sure that and see how it goes as far as development, as well as any hardware and software issues that develop. So I'm watching the Raspberry Pi forum on Reddit, and they've been talking about the Raspberry Pi 3 a lot. So I'm going to watch that a little longer before I decide to jump and get the Raspberry Pi 3. Does the Raspberry Pi 2 work for me? Yes, it does. Does it work good for everyday use? Yes, it does. Does it work good for applications like simple text, open office text at work? Yes, it does. Can it play Flash? No, unfortunately enough, you can't play Flash because Adobe never released a Flash player for it. Okay, and second of all, Adobe, let's talk about the Flash for a second because that's a great point. Adobe is telling all Flash developers that Flash is at end of life at this point and that they should be migrating to HTML5. So I'm going to tell you the same thing. For me to go ahead and invest in trying to set up an Flash on a computer that is HTML 5 is a new development platform makes no sense. Now the people over there at Adobe, once since they're listing their product as end of life, I wouldn't be surprised if very soon the Flash will be removed from the website. And replaced with something else. Now you have to remember, Flash is a giant security and open source for Adobe. It's been around for so many years, but it's still an open source. It's not secure. That was one reason why Steve Jobs said Apple will not use Flash. And that was a major... People laughed originally at Steve Jobs. Well, I don't really miss Flash much. Now we're going to get excited about it anyway, because it's just a real pain in the ass more than a help. Now, so did I test the ability to use my UVC with the Raspberry Pi to do video. Yeah, I did. And the problem is the way the USB system is set up. The UVC dongle is absolutely positively incapacitated by the way the USB system is set up by the internal hub. That takes one USB port and multiplies it among 4 ports. It doesn't really affect too much the use of the 2 external hard drives that are plugged into it, but it does affect the ability to do video capture. Now that, of course, I could always buy the Raspberry Pi camera, but I'm thinking more as I want it to be able to do video capture from this camera. It ain't gonna happen. I tried the same Raspberry Pi option with my, or the UVC dongle with my computer right now that's running the website, and the computer just, the USB and the computer just did not have the performance to do it either. Okay? So I have another computer I want to fix up, which is a PCI Express machine, which I'm going to be working on, that will be able to easily handle that system with Linux. So we'll look into that as soon as I get the power supply for it. But because I want to save my money this month and not buy any extras, maybe next month, which is May, I might do it, and buy some USB accessories. I mean, like the replacement power supply for that one machine I have got to test. But that'll be May, so that could be right now. So I'm gonna just wait a little bit, a little longer. Same thing with the First Premier Capital One cards. I'm not going to go crazy and buy stuff right now with those either, because the same reason. I want to put some money aside. Okay. I guess that's pretty much it. There's not much else to say, is there? No, not really. And you guys remember, we're still looking for ideas. So if there's something you want to see us talk about, let us know and we will explore it. Yeah, I mean, like, for example, we may do a short video clip on the modifications to the wiring closet. Somewhere, like, as we're working on it. That's possible. Yeah. And for those of you who will be seeing us at Primetime House today, yeah, we'll be there around 11:30. We'll break bread with you, and then we'll go to, we have a tour, might have to do some paperwork, yada, yada, yada. And then we'll come back here, and would like to have done some video on Primetime, but because of privacy, we may not be able to get some video in on Primetime. We'll have to see how that works. Right. Okay, guys. For now, it's gonna be today is gonna be a little warmer than it was yesterday. Unfortunately, it might be a little rainy. I think it's gonna be partly cloudy. It's not. Because yesterday it was all rain all the time. Yeah. It's gonna be a little warmer, but let's be aware of one thing Michelle did not tell you is we have another polar vortex inversion coming down here. Yes, we do have another one coming in. It's because of the climate change, the global cooling events, which the news keeps ignoring and keeps trying to say global warming. It's not global warming. But what's important to remember is what is not being said, is that no matter which way you slice it, you're going to experience in the grocery store where the prices of produce and food is just going to go up because a lot of crops have been damaged this year because of the late snow and things that happened in the Midwest area and the Northeast. And so you might see prices be much higher in the store. Right. And of course, like I said, I want you all to be happy, healthy, and stay dry. And do me a favor, please. Continue to pray for my eyesight, because I know it's doing good in some days, and some days it does shit. Okay, I don't know why that is, but it just is. But just pray for me, to whoever God, your goddess you like to pray to, that my eyes will continue to improve. I know I can see better in the left eye now, but my right eye is still kind of nip and tuck, so I don't know what the story with that is. It's true. But I think, don't forget, like you said, your right eye has so much more heavy cataract than the left eye does. When I first started taking the medication 2 years ago, so that long ago? Yes, it was. Oh my God. That's right. It was almost 2 years ago. October of 2014. 2014. Wow. And how much your eyes compared now compared to 2 years ago? I know my set of right eye definitely is better. Yeah. I'm not seeing as much double halos anymore on it. I'm definitely seeing more picture quality. I can read things on the phone better now. Right. But I still got halos on my right eye. My left eye is clear. My left eye is 99% clear. So, it's kind of hard to say because it's like I said, it's always nip and tuck, and I don't know what to make heads or tails of it. It's true. Alright guys, look, here's the deal. Hope to hear from you soon. Okay? Don't forget to like or dislike. If you dislike or do like, let us know why you like or dislike. Share with everybody. Why not? It doesn't cost you nothing. Please do subscribe. For the same reason, it's free. And also check out our website too at http://pinkrose.dhis.org, and you can check out some of the pictures of the North American Snow Queen Palace you may have never seen, and get a chance to learn a little bit about me and about Lumi. We still got ways to go on it though. We have a lot more stuff to put up. We do, yeah. In fact, we're going to work on that soon. Right. Okay, guys. That's it for now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.